Peter Thum, founder of Ethos Water and Giving Water, and entrepreneur.
Ethos Water is a brand that started about 8 years ago and has grown over the last 8 years to become a national brand in the US, a brand that sells across North America and Canada as well. And the mission of the brand is to help children get clean water and raise awareness of the world water crisis. And the primary way that it does that is through the sale of bottled water, which is the main product of the brand. And Ethos Water is now owned by Starbucks. Well, it was an idea that I had in 2001, based on the experience that I had living and working in Africa. And I was working for a bottled water company on a project, and I had this idea that maybe there was a way to connect these hundreds of millions of bottled water consumers and these billions of people without clean water through creating a brand and a communications platform for the world water crisis. And that's how Ethos was born. And then it was acquired by Starbucks in 2005 after being a startup for a couple of years. And after the acquisition, Starbucks put it in all of its stores in North America, which is about 7,000 stores. And it's grown since then to have generated more than $6 million and helped about 500,000 people around the world to get water, sanitation, and hygiene education. There was probably one moment where I was driving down a road in eastern South Africa, in KwaZulu-Natal, and I was driving down this dusty road, and there was a woman who, at the beginning of my vision of her, was this very small figure at the edge of the road, far off in the distances. And I came closer, I was on a dusty road. I saw her carrying this vessel on top of her head, and I could tell that it was full of water. And I was driving in the middle of nowhere, and she clearly had been walking quite a long time and looked very tired. And I slowed down and drove past her, and I was going somewhere, and I had a destination to get to before it got dark. But I knew that her day started a long time ago, and it was going to go for a while because there wasn't anything within sight. And even though I'd seen the water crisis around South Africa before that, it was very crystal clear for me then that something had to be done about that problem. And it was that moment that made me realize I need to do something, and I started doing research, which led to me changing my life and starting Ethos. Cause marketing is essentially when an existing company, existing for-profit entity, does a deal or pairs up with a not-for-profit organization or a cause and uses their business platform to help finance that mission. They promise to give some percentage of their sales or a flat rate donation or some amount per unit sold to this cause. And so you have a relationship and some synergy between those two organizations. A social purpose venture or a social purpose brand is a business that's set up to achieve a specific social aim. And the brand is totally dedicated to that purpose. And at least in my view, the business platform exists to try to achieve a social aim. Hybrid businesses, businesses with a social mission, have to be businesses and have to explain what they're trying to do socially. So explaining the benefit of trying to cure cancer or trying to provide water to someone, as well as refresh someone with your drink or to sell tasty yogurt, is much more complicated than just simply saying our yogurt is better or our water is cleaner. And so when you add those things in, it forces the people who are doing marketing for the purpose of addressing a social issue, it makes it very hard for them. And so what you have to do is really distill down whatever that message is, whatever that cause is, into the simplest terms to help the person you're trying to capture as a customer to understand and crystallize for them exactly what it is that they're getting. On the one hand, we've generated millions of dollars to finance water programs all around the world. And on the other hand, every week, 30 to 40 million people go into Starbucks and other stores around the country and see and consume Ethos Water. And so I think that probably to date, the impact that we have is probably greater on the side of making people aware of the issue of water and how important it is, but we can't really do that effectively without extracting money from those purchases that people make and connecting them into the cause so that they understand that by being loyal to this brand or having a relationship with the brand, they're participating in the solution of the problem. I think the number one reason would be it means something to them. I think that probably most effectively, an effective, involved member of society would volunteer and give and develop relationships with the people who benefit from what they're doing. They would know them. And I think that in our society, the way that it works, people seek to separate themselves from each other. And we live in homes that place us apart from each other. We behave in ways that separate us and put us in levels of luxury and consumption that seek to separate us from each other. And I think that the most effective way to engage in trying to solve social problems is to get to know them and to get the people who are affected by them.
Peter Thum, founder of Ethos Water and Giving Water. Thank you so much for joining us.